He's a big Batman guy. Grades a lot. Super cool.
Alive. We got our YouTube pulled up. So they can hear us now. I have the little intro going, but they can hear us, whatever.
What's up, y'all?
So let's get some tunes rolling there.
And for later,
I'm gonna go to the tube of you. It's kind of gross when you think about it.
a stream-only preview.
What's up, y'all?
The Marvel Rivals variant of Magic #1.
Nice. And pop out the YouTube chat.
So, impossible to find in stores, so I had to order them online.
Send it over on the YouTube. And then, all right, let's kick over to us here. Podcast with 4. Boom. There we are, boys.
And boom.
Hi, Mom.
You're looking good.
Hi, Mom.
It's probably only
I'm gonna
around
put you guys over here, so I'm looking more at the camera.
And let me refresh this. Whoops.
Refresh.
I
I don't think my wife has intentionally ever listened to our podcast because I don't know why she would, but she said the other day that it like came on after she finished with another one, and she was like, "I was so into that theme song," and then I was like, "What?" I was like, "What
accidentally
pod?"
listened to our show.
I was like, "What pod?" She said she was like, "What podcast is this with this awesome theme song?" And she heard my voice.
Yes, Ken.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Ken, I will tell her I will send her a 15-minute loop of that song, and she can just
That's-
rock to it all day.
That's the first 15 minutes of my podcast every week. I get it going.
Oh, man. Every once in a while, I just put it on like day of the show to get myself like hyped for later on that night. Like, we're recording tonight. Got to get ready. Got to get in the zone. Got to be ready to go. We got this. We got this. All right. So over on YouTube, guys, what's up? Anybody over in the chat? We got anybody over there? What's up? We're
We got some
live.
drops happening tonight in the chat too.
Oh, that's right.
Twitch drops.
That's right. Which did you guys get yours yet? Actually,
Yep.
just put
Is that a
my
Jujutsu
computer on and walked
Kaisen
away.
stuff?
And walked away.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Sukuna.
Oh, that's sick.
Whoa.
Is that Japanese or is that English?
It's English. They just came out with the English ones this year, but I collect both the English and the Japanese sets.
Man, something else I found out. My other addiction, other than Pokemon right now, is
Other than
the
drugs.
Stormlight Archive book series, the like Brandon Sanderson stuff.
Yeah.
I figured out that he has like collectible cards for the Stormlight Archive, and he's about to put them on sale on the shop. So
He also has, they have a convention apparently.
yes, yeah,
Crazy.
Nexus Con or something.
And then
Jiva, what's up, dude?
they also have they just launched a Cosmere role-playing system.
no freaking way.
Yeah, like
Oh my
they kickstarted
God.
it and it literally
Oh, boy.
launched like last month.
Oh man, we might have to do that.
I was just gonna say, are we doing that
That's the
now? Is that
list.
what we're-
Yeah.
Toto.
Oh,
Dude, that looks fresh.
yeah, those are awesome cards.
Jiva, who do you live near? Brandon Sanderson? Is that what he's saying?
He's my uncle.
Go tell him to finish Stormlight Archive and not do Mistborn.
I think, yeah, I have the first Mistborn book, I think.
Oh, dude, I have that card too.
So
Man,
good.
that's what that was. Hey, look at this.
The Japanese.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at these.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, that's a nice mat.
That's sick.
What is it? Game Gen X or who made the mat?
Pokemon Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Look at Jiva said he went to his first blacksmithing class yesterday. Nice, dude.
That's incredible.
I
He's
did
making,
too, and it cost me
Magic's,
$14.99. My new Mjolnir.
Oh,
but I had to-
I didn't even notice it earlier. Like we were
So-
talking about it. That's the first time I actually saw it.
Is that
Yeah.
like a
Slowly
Love and
killing the
Thunder
Avengers.
or not? Is that a Ragnarok specific one because it's broken?
It's cracked. Yeah.
yeah, must be. Now my plan though, I want to get the Hulk fist
Hulk
to go on the
fist?
bottom. In the bottom down
At the bottom.
You're running out of room there.
And then I
you
can
need a
start
cap-
going
Then he's
across the
gonna
top.
start doing across. Yeah.
Yep. There's
You need a
the
bow. Captain
Ant-Man
Carter
helmet.
shield.
There's the
Kill them all.
Spider-Man. I think they have
Your
the
trophies.
Black Panther,
Black
Star
Panther.
Lord, Ant Man.
Yep.
Um,
Just let it keep on going.
they've got a Punisher Iron Man helmet, like a Punisher 2099 one.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
which
sweet.
is
yeah.
Nice.
I thought you were talking about. There's a series where Punisher gets the War Machine.
That's what it is.
Oh.
That's-
Yeah. That's really cool. We should do
Mm.
Punisher War.
Listen, we got a list of lore requests.
38.
And a backlog.
How many heroes do you got now?
Yeah. A what?
A lot.
I think we'll have
A lot.
39 by the time everything's done. Is it 38 or 39 by the end of the season?
Started with 3.
Or 37?
Seven.
Seven.
All right.
30.
Well, what do you say, boys? Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
On ready.
Are we ready to do this again?
I'm ready to put on a show as someone.
All right, it's it. It's over. Show's
On
done.
a show.
Walking away.
Night.
That's
Good
it.
night, guys.
And scene. All right. Well, let me hit
How was
record.
mine?
Hit record over here. So we are recording the audio. And
You guys know that they have different alt lines for like if they're on your team
Yes.
versus
Yeah,
the other team.
they do.
Yep.
That's and they're not as loud.
So Neil, you don't have to ask every time.
Wow,
ours?
I'm always just worried. Okay.
What map is this?
And you do know the strategist.
2 questions. Tell me when. Are you dead? Was that your alt?
The strategists call out too when they're getting hurt. Like, that Flarkin hurt. So if you hear that,
I need help here.
that's your rocket behind you.
Heal and help your
So peel back.
strategist.
Yeah.
Yes.
But all right, here we go. Rivals Assemble, episode 11.
Again.
You recording?
I'm recording. Shh. Oh, yeah, you know what time it is. That's right, it's time for Rivals Assemble, a Marvel Rivals podcast. I am your host, Mark Turcott, and you are tuned into episode 11. And oh, my goodness, friends, we are 1 week into the night falling in Rivals, 1 week into season 1. How you feeling? I know I'm feeling pretty good. I know we got some thoughts. I got a lot of people here to break it down with me here as always. We have a lot of news to get to. We're going to be giving you the lore on Reed Richards / The Maker, and in just a few minutes, we're going to be announcing the first giveaway here on the podcast. So to break this all down with me, first up, Matt Clark. Matt, what's up, dude?
I'm breaking it down, but you can't see it. I'm doing the dance moves. I usually charge for this type of thing, but yeah, I'm stoked to go. I'm ready and locked in. Let's do it.
We missed you last week, Matt. You weren't here last week, man.
I know. I'm a busy guy. What can I say?
Well, we appreciate you sending in the audio, which was awesome. I know a lot of people
I
really
apologize
enjoyed
for the
that.
quality of it. I don't care what anybody says.
It was great.
Not up to my standard.
It was good. It was good. And also joining us here, Neil. Neil, what's up, dude?
Fantastic. I'm excited to break into the Reed lore here, The Maker. I'm feeling great. Excited for another show as well. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. And
First time on the show, Neil.
yeah, Neil's been here for every single episode. And also here joining us, Ken's. Ken's, what's up, dude?
What's up? Yeah, Neil has been the most consistent. This is like in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks that we've all been here. So it's good to have the whole crew.
It is. It is good to have everybody here. I know,
Like when your family gets together for the holidays, but you actually like it.
Mm-hmm.
we all do like each other. Sometimes. No.
On air.
We all love you. Yeah.
Except
on air.
whenever Matt doesn't call out whenever he dies.
Or when Matt mutes because we're playing comp and
Well,
he's tilting after 10 seconds.
Well, Matt doesn't call it out because he just expects us all to be reading the kill feed. And, that just...
Where's that kill feed again? Is that a secret unlock? Up, down, down.
We did learn what, Neil? You play on like a 60-inch TV, so you're like turning your head. So like that was one thing
Yeah,
Matt
I
was
mean,
saying
that's
that
also
maybe
a
you
problem.
can't read it because you're not actually.
Neil actually links to the Jumbotron in the stadium across the street from him and plays on that, and he still can't see the kill feed.
No.
That's great.
He still does fairly well for those circumstances too. So
He does
Yeah,
somehow.
credit.
the input
Somehow.
lag, man, it's bad.
All right, guys, let's get moving on here. So, everybody, welcome here to episode 11. So glad you guys are here. Again, you guys are just continuing to download the episodes of the podcast, and we absolutely appreciate it. Big thank you to everybody here who tuned into last week's episode, and of course, those who are leaving us reviews on iTunes, those on Spotify, you're leaving us comments on Spotify, hitting us up on social media. Thank you guys so much. Remember, you can always reach out to us.
Ruined our perfect 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. We thank you for listening.
Matt, totally disturbed by that. Dude, if you go to even to Spotify, you could see we're not a perfect 5, and I don't expect us to be a perfect 5. Like,
Oh
you
no,
know.
we just were for longer on Apple iTunes, and I'm a toxic perfectionist, so there's that.
But you can follow us over on Twitter at Rivals Assemble, also on Blue Sky with that. We're recording live on Twitch and on YouTube here simultaneously, so what's up to everybody over in the chats over there. If you want to see the recorded version of the show, you can check it out there at Rivals Assemble Pod. Again, leave us comments on Spotify. We love reading those. We're consistently now getting tens of comments, and thank you for those this week for
Dozens.
giving us dozens of comments.
I think we're up to dozens now.
We're up to dozens now. Do you think we could ever go hundreds?
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, we'll see.
We just started.
It's true.
Nah,
So much
I
space.
bet they wouldn't. I don't think they would. They probably
Nah, dozens. Well, what's between dozens and hundreds? Like, you can't say like 50s.
20s?
20s, I guess you could say, right? 20s of comments.
Because we said 10s.
a baker's dozen.
13s?
What is that, 13?
I thought that was like less because they eat one.
I thought it was
No,
13.
it's just the extra dough or something.
All right, so we're well, I guess technically
Well,
right now
anyways.
we have Baker dozens is because we have
Now I want a donut.
13. I'm actually going to Montreal this weekend. I'm going to be hitting up some Montreal bagel shops, so I'll get some
Excuse
I'm
me,
sorry,
some what?
Montreal what?
Montreal bagels.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Bagels?
a bagel or a
Boggle?
Is that a
bagel.
Canadian thing? A bagel?
Bagel?
I like the game Boggle. Did you ever play Boggle?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's a good game.
What about Peggle?
Pagel's
It's
great.
great, dude.
That's not a word.
From PopCap, it's great.
Haggle?
Anyways, let's keep moving on here to our poll results, guys. So we asked you over on Spotify, we ran a poll. We had over 100 people enter this poll. So very accurate poll this time. We asked, who is the best long-ranged duelist in the game? And overwhelmingly, coming in at 41.2% of the vote, Hawkeye got the win. Not surprising. And we actually had a tie for second place. 20.6, both of them, Namor and Hela. Both
First
getting that.
loser.
Oh wow.
I'll give you one guess who came in last. And somebody voted with one vote, 1% of the vote.
My main Black Widow.
Correct. Black Widow with only one vote. So that one
So
listener out there, thank you for voting for Black Widow and at least
Shout out
Representation.
Laura Bailey.
yep,
We love
giving
you.
her that representation, which was awesome. But
Come on the show.
but yeah, so Hawkeye, what do you guys think? I mean, that seems to be probably just
I
the number of
think we
bands
need
you
to
see in comps.
discuss what the word best means in this case. So I think
Whatever you want it to mean.
it's not
Very
he's not my favorite duelist by any means, but in terms of what was the qualifier again? The best
Best long range
Long
duelist.
range. He is the most effective because, correct me if I'm wrong, right? He's the only one who has one shots in the game.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow
Widow?
doesn't even
No.
have one shots,
Oh, okay.
Nope.
which was kind of not misleading, but I think everyone thought it was implied from like her character drop trailer right before launch that she would have the ability to give you one shots. Now I'm not mad because I think one shots shouldn't be a thing in these games, but get in the comments, whatever. But yeah, I don't know if he's everyone's favorite. That might also mean like most annoying or like the one I hate to face off against or the one I like to play. So I'm interested what the motivations for that vote would have been.
All right. Well, I think kind of like Neil said, whatever I guess the perception is that people have of who the best is, whether it's in comp, the games they're playing. So that's the crowd has spoken. So
What ability of his do you think makes him the best? Just his basic attack? Or that
His ult
hypersonic
is
arrow going through.
great.
Alt
I
is
love
good,
the
yeah.
Sonic Arrow. That's how I always prime the field. You see like the tunnel of people. You fired that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Softens them up, slows them all down, and then you just.
Oh yeah. I've yet to play Hawkeye. Still haven't played him.
I've only played him a handful of times.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
just not.
once.
I don't know.
He's got that deflect, right? If you've got a, is it any projectile you can hit
Oh,
it?
his sword,
and
yeah, that he hits
push
it
it
back.
back?
Think, yeah.
Seems like hard to get good with for sure.
Yep. You got to get.
And when he
good
ults,
rods.
is the best idea to just stand still so he only has one thing to shoot at because it makes copies of yourself as you move, right?
Yeah.
I see
Yeah, but
myself
then he'll
jumping
still just
around,
shoot you in
but
the
then
head,
it's
so it
just all
don't
purple.
matter.
Yeah.
You're done. Basically, like if
Maybe
he,
Do you want to be shot from behind, or do you want to be shot looking at?
yeah, I mean, if he's
your-
got eyes on you, dude, you're done. Like he's
your
got you.
knockout, or
Doesn't matter.
whatever.
So for next week, and here's what we did. So we did best dive duelist. We're doing long range, or we just did long range. So we got Hawkeye and Iron Fist one. Next week we're doing best mid range duelist, and then the following week we'll put them up.
short
Hawkeye,
range.
Iron Fist, and whoever the mid range is, and just straight up best duelist on the list of 3. So next week, best mid range duelist. If you want to take part in this poll, be sure to head over to Spotify. We have Scarlet Witch, Punisher, Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, and Squirrel Girl.
Ah, yes, Scarlet
So-
Witch, the character that you don't need to be able to have good aim with at all.
So
But you
Always
have
making
to
comments
go-
when she comes
Yeah,
up.
what should Storm have been? Long range? Because
I think that really depends on how you play her.
did we not put her
She's-
in there?
no, to be fair, she's been really bad, but now
Storm
she's
is
incredible,
good.
and she is like my new main character.
Don't talk about my
It's
friend like
I
that.
played her a
She
lot
is
too.
So good.
I'm putting her in there. We're putting her as mid range just so she's got representation. So she's
There we
in
go.
there.
Okay.
And then we'll see kind of how all that plays out. So yeah, look for
We're gonna
those
get a
results.
representation counter in the corner of the screen by the end of the podcast.
Get out there and vote, please. We want to have your voice heard. Head over to Spotify. You'll see the poll in this podcast, episode 11, and let us know best mid-range duelist: Scarlet Witch, Punisher, Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl, or Storm. Now, big details. Our very first giveaway here in the podcast. We want to give back to you, the listeners, for helping to support us and listening to the show. So we are giving away in just, conjunction with the season and the fact that it's the
Conjunction.
Fantastic Four. We are giving away 2 Fantastic Four comics. And Matt, I'm going to let you kind of describe what these comics are because you handpicked these out for everybody. So
Yeah.
what issues
So-
are these?
I am a comic lover, and I'm a variant cover lover. If you don't know what a variant cover is, so the big companies, well, not even the big companies, all the companies have the main art for each issue of a comic. Then, depending on how important the issue is, they'll hire a bunch of other artists to do alternative covers, and they call those variants. And so it could either be, just another design. It could be something not related to the comic at all, and just an initiative that the label is pushing. So right now there's a big push for Fantastic Four variants across the different comics at Marvel. And there's like a Fantastic Four variant for X-Men. Has nothing to do with a comic, but it has them on it. So I went diving at my local comic shop this week into their back issues, and I wanted to find some good issues. And what we came up with was issue 17 from the 2022 Fantastic Four run. It is a variant cover in the style of X-Men 97. So some cool, really fun art. I just loved that cover. And then there is issue 44, I believe, I don't have it in front of me, of the 2018 run of Fantastic Four. So what that means, if you're not familiar with how they do it, comics will go by different volumes, and usually the year that volume started is what is included in the title. So the 2018 volume ran up until 2021, I believe, and then a new volume started in 2022, and then they restart the numbering. But this one from the 2018 run is a scroll variant of Invisible Woman turning into well, I guess a scroll revealing herself having been playing around as Invisible Woman.
Very
So
cool.
some good looking variants there for you.
Yeah, so very, very cool. And what we're asking you to do, and actually you're going to get both of those comics and a tub of G Fuel.
Oh, don't forget the tub.
Gotta get that tub of G Fuel.
So you can get all your energy on and ready to play some more Marvel
read.
Rivals.
Yes. So all you need to do
or read and not play video games.
is email us rivalsassemblepod@gmail.com. I'll put this in the show notes too. I think I realized I actually wasn't putting the email in the show notes. But email us rivalsassemblepod@gmail.com and let us know who your favorite Fantastic Four villain is and why. And I will say we're just picking the winner completely at random. It's not going to be based on what you're putting in your description. That's just a way for you to enter. So pick
It's not going to be Neil's wife at all.
Yeah. Also, this is for U.S. residents only, unfortunately. So, yeah, but you have to get it to us by next Thursday, January 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be, 9 a.m. Pacific. So again, rivalsassemblepod@gmail.com. Tell us who your favorite Fantastic Four villain is and why, and you can get these 2 Fantastic Four comics and a tub of G Fuel, and we'll get in contact with you via email, get all your contact information, and get it shipped out to you. And we'll get these pictures up on social, too, so you can see the cover art for these comics, too. We'll put them up on our Blue Sky and Twitter if you're interested in seeing what those look like. All right, dudes. Well, this is the point of the show where we usually jump right into the news, but before we do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about just how everybody's doing. Week 1 of season 1. You know, Matt, you weren't here last week, so we didn't get your thoughts kind of on everything that's here in the eternal night that has fallen here on Rivals. So I'm just going to kind of throw it to you. How are you feeling kind of overall with the way the season is playing out? What do you think of the new heroes? Just kind of overall consensus so far.
It's good. Back to you.
Between the 2 heroes, who do you like? Do you like Mr. Fantastic more, or are you more of a Sue?
play Invisible Woman more. You and I have talked about this off pod. Mr. Fantastic is a little bit too frenetic of action for me. He's a little bit too brawly, and I do not do well with that. I like to have focused attacks. I like to know exactly where I'm hitting. He's a little too flaily for me. But then again, it could be a skill issue. I'm very aware of that, much as everything with me. But I really like the versatility of Invisible Woman, especially her. I don't know if you guys have seen the new portal trick with Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
No.
You line his portal up perpendicular, or no, is it perpendicular or parallel? Parallel, thank you. To the team spawn entrance. So like when they're running out, they're running out this way, and the portal is facing this way. And Invisible Woman will stand over here. And when they all run out, she does her force blasts and blasts them all into the portal.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah. They fall
Cool.
they are knocked out to all knocked out.
so
But
puts the
also
other side
her-
of the portal off a cliff or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, depending on where.
I need to get that achievement. That is an achievement.
But I like that, of course, in addition to being able to heal, but also depending on how you play her, can hold her own damage wise. She's no Luna Snow, she's no Mantis by any means, but I was successfully able to insta-lock her a lot during the first weekend, and so I was glad about that.
Well done.
Let's see what else. The skins, they're nice. They're great. I'm a fan. I don't think I'll be purchasing either of them because they're not my Fantastic Four, if that makes sense. I liked the black and blue Fantastic Four suits that I actually didn't end up purchasing for 600 blue units.
The unit.
So that's an alternate skin, right? Because
Yeah,
they're white
Correct.
based. Yeah, so they did have 2 to come out. Yeah, most
Yeah.
heroes have that kind of cheaper alternate art kind of thing.
Yeah.
As far as the modes, I really like the escort game.
Yes.
The map and the effects and the loading screens, all just beautiful. Like Chef's kiss.
You know what? I don't want to stop. Just real quick. It seems like really the loading screens for this map, the Midtown map, almost tells the story better than anything that came in season 0. I remember, Danny Koo saying that like the story is going to be told through what you're going to see in these cutscenes, and it's like you could kind of get it. You saw, the ship crash on Clintar, and you kind of got some of that, and we were getting stuff with the spider, with the time stream and all that. But it just seems like this map specifically tells the story almost better, I think, than those other ones did. Like if you push the Fantasticar and Herbie gets there, you see him tap in, do whatever he's getting from Avengers Tower, and then you see the big blast come, and then you see Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch there, and it seems like they've like eradicated all the night or all the vampires and all that in Midtown.
Oh,
if you watch that, you see that, and it's
like at the victory screen, you mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was able to watch victory screen much, because usually someone who I'm queuing with skips through a bunch of that really quick and queues us into another match.
Yeah, but
so
it's before you even get to that, Matt. So you have to actually first win a match. If you win the match, you see that, then you get to the scoreboard, and well, I'm sorry, then you have to watch my MVP first,
right?
And then once you watch my MVP, then you get to see that.
I like the intro as the defenders, because I assume you're flying in that giant Iron Man suit, or is it a Sentinel? That's very Iron Man.
It's an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume you fly in on that, and then it gets shot down, and that's where you start, right?
Seemingly.
It's very cool.
That one map is great. It's awesome.
Let me fly in.
The other map, the Sanctum Sanctorum, I love it. I love the map. I love all the different elements going through the portals, the rips in time space that just kind of dust you to other places. Such a cool map, really pushing, I don't know about pushing the limits, but just giving us so many different things in one level. It's just a shame I'll never be playing that mode, because I hate modes like that.
Well, to me, I think that it's I'm no game designer, so I don't know exactly what it takes to do that, but I think that the tech behind all of those portals and all of the I don't know, it just seems. I mean, I know that we're working in the newest Unreal Engine now, but it's kind of amazing how you're just able to go from
Marvel
portal and it just, I don't know, it's crazy.
You can see and shoot through the portal too.
Yeah. The portal tech in this game is great, and the fact that they made an entire game mode with multiple portals,
20 portals,
is really cool.
I still don't understand how the layout works. I'm just like,
we've got Portal in Marvel Rivals, we've got Splatoon in Marvel Rivals.
I know the Sanctum, you can just walk around the Sanctum and it's all connected, or you can take the portals and it transports you to a different part of that map. There's also the little, what are they called? Gateways or warps, where you kind of walk up to it and hit it, and then you're this little blue beam, and you'll go up to the roof. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't even know why those are there. It's okay.
I use them to escape all the time.
Yeah, I mean that is.
Get out of here.
Now I will say, over this first week for me, last week I was really high on that mode, but it seems now that, and I think your dog likes to. That was hilarious. Having now played it and almost being forced to play it, because the event that's running right now, there was a couple times where you had to go into Doom Match to complete some of the things, and I'm starting to fall off it a little bit now.
I cried.
I'm just
it was rough.
Yeah, I'm not
bottom
really
every game,
and I was enjoying it like I did before.
Yeah, because you had to play certain characters too to get, it's 20,000 damage as these characters in this mode, or $50,000 or 50,000 damage in another mode. So,
and guess what I did, Neil? 50,000 damage in another mode, because I was I am not sitting in Doom Match.
I had a bad night and I was at the bottom the whole time. It was Venom, which I am terrible with. I've learned
5 Scarlet Witches, 3 Thors,
Moon Knight, lots of Thors in there. And
Psylocke,
I had this
dude.
Groot.
There's some Psylocke.
Oh, Psylocke, yeah. Psylocke. I had this Groot that just owned it. He had me full to 0, and I didn't even see him coming. It was crazy.
Mark accidentally queued us into it last week, And
I did. It was an
Flip of the
accident.
thumb.
he's like, "Oh no, I put us in the sanctum. Oh no, what do we do?" And I just stood in a corner and waited. Like, I refuse. I'm not doing it.
It's so funny how I've flipped on this because I think a couple episodes back, either someone asked a question or we were talking about just kind of like how we spend our time in the game. And it was me, Mark, and Neil on that episode, I think. And both of you guys were like, yeah, like we go in and we're doing those missions. And like that's what you were wanting to do. And I was like, I don't really care. Like I'm going in and I'm doing competitive. I'm not.
I was there for that.
Yeah, sure. You were there. Someone was there. I don't remember. But I am the opposite now, where like this week I have done nothing. I've like looked forward to getting in there and playing some Doom Match and completing these missions. And I think it's because it gives you the option now to do either or.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm locked into just, I would see that one objective and be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Don't care. But now I have options and it's been really fun to get in there and complete them.
Yeah. Well, I think too, I think I mentioned it to you guys the other day in our chat is like, for some reason, this event this time around, the story has me more engaged. I think they're rolling it out better. Just the UI of it in the game looks better. They've even like every day when a new piece comes out, they're promoting it on their socials, which like they didn't do last time. So it's like I don't know. It just seems like it's really neat how they're doing it. And I mean, have you guys gone through and read the gallery cards as you've unlocked them? Like,
oh yeah,
yes.
The latest one. Did you read the latest one?
The one today, I didn't.
Oh, not the Spider-Man one. I haven't finished that one yet.
The today's
Blade was my last one.
Okay, all right. So Blade was the last one, which by the way, our good friend,
amazing,
the little Easgard squirrel, right? What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Ratatat or something like that.
Apparently
he's back.
Radadaskar.
They might save everybody.
But what is happening in the last one is pretty awesome. It's like this whole team up. They even have a team name. It explains the skins that are in the battle pass. It's very cool.
Sweet.
So
I think when talking about like I hear the feedback that you have, but I think I don't know if I would say better is the best word to use to describe the rollout of the season, because let's be real, like this is season 1.
Right.
You know, they've done this one time before.
Right.
And half a time.
I can see them not, diverting every resource, during season 0, the month that it was, or that's where they were, doing things and testing things. So it's like, okay, we need to roll out more info. We need to put out more teasers and things like that. So I don't know, just kind of
maybe more engaging.
Throw a little bit of a bone there.
I think more engaging, I would say, this time around, just compared to what they did last time. For me personally, it is. It's just I feel
for sure for me.
I was like for me, it's usually do the challenges just because I paid for the battle pass. That's how I progress the battle pass. So it's like, let me do the daily challenges or the daily missions and then the challenges, which are the ones that come out every 2 days. But now it's been like, I want to finish the event challenges because I want to know what's going to happen in the story next. Like I want to know, I just want that little story lore drop. And I think that's really cool that it's kind of, pushing us along this way. And I remember talking back with the alpha and the beta, how we thought the battle pass just itself was going to unlock the story bits. Remember the Galacta? She had like little stuff in there. But I'm kind of glad.
There is something at the end of the battle pass though. Like
yeah, there is. Yeah, I am kind of glad they're doing this though, because the event is for everybody. So like, if you didn't want to buy the battle pass, you're still taking part in season 1. You'll still get to keep those gallery cards. You'll still get to, have that moving forward on your account. And the Thor skin, that's right. Yeah. Matt,
do you think it's going to be the only
there's
one,
better
or
way to
you
describe
do multiple
Thor
one of
skin
these?
than saying Thor skin?
Because there's only six sections or whatever. You think that'll be it for the whole season, the whole 12 weeks?
No, I think this is just right now.
Part 1. Maybe they'll do another one when the new characters drop.
I'm almost positive they are. Yeah,
because it's for me. I've actually been taking longer to do. Like I haven't played because I'm not able to play every day. I've only done like my first 2 story bits.
I think there's 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not the urgency to it.
It's not going away for another,
Yeah.
however long. So It's nice. It's fun. I like it. And yeah, because of that, I haven't played. I played one competitive game so far. So letting all the other people make their way up, and
Detoxing.
Oh,
then
yeah.
I'll try for that. It's a Invisible Woman skin, right?
Yes, it
Go for
is. Yeah,
gold.
which they haven't actually revealed it,
Oh,
I think,
I didn't know
yet
that.
on the socials. But if you go into the, reward thing in
Competitive
game, it
info?
shows the little like square of it. But yeah, I don't think you can preview it yet. So like, don't know. But it looks
It's
like she has
Jessica Alba.
some white and red hair, maybe. I think so. There's something, maybe a little bit
Gotta
of
get
red
it.
kind of thrown in there. I went into competitive. I think 2 matches. First match we just stomped. It was great.
Nice.
And then like a day or two later, went in the second time, and we were on Eastgard pushing on Convoy, like just pushing out. And I had a Venom, or not a Venom, a Magneto and a Penny, and they would not push forward at all, like literally at all. And I'm sitting there like, come on, you got to move, you got to put. Which the person shouldn't
I
have been
wanna
playing
move the payload.
Penny at all, because it was like that's more of like a defensive character in that situation. But it was just frustrating, and I was like, you know what, I don't have the mood for this. Like, I got 12, because in the end, comp is what we get the full 12 weeks. I mean, now I guess we got 11 weeks left, but it's like, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Neil. Like, let's just let it all kind of settle out. I'll get that skin at some point.
Well, I think once the story stuff's done and I've got, my battle pass figured out, then I'll go comp, because then I don't care about what mode I'm playing, what characters I'm playing.
Yeah.
He'll
Then I
stand up.
just go hard. Stand up. Time to stand up.
now. Stand up.
Stand up.
Did I tell you guys I lost my first hardcore Diablo player character when I went to stand up? Got real.
no.
I think it wasn't that bad. It was like level 12 or something, but it was the night Diablo 4 came out and we were about to go into the boss room. I'm like, okay, guys, hold on. Let me stand up. And I stood up and I hit the power off button on my TV.
Oh
And
no,
because my
dude.
TV, it's like the smart
The
connect
game was still
for
going,
HDMI.
yeah.
No, it was not,
Oh.
because once my TV turned off, it told my PlayStation to turn off.
Oh no.
So that turned off, and I'm like, no, guys. And they're like, we tried to save you, man, but because I was on a group with my
Sometimes
friends, and they
standing up
just thought it
doesn't
was
work out.
hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So I lost due to the druid or something
Wow.
that one night, but
I'm wait. Did you just say Doo the Druid?
yeah. For some
right,
reason, in Diablo
all.
2, the short form for druid is Dudu. D-U-D-U.
You do
Right.
you, man. You do you.
You do you.
Yeah.
You do you.
Anyways, all right. Well, let's move on here,
Anyway.
guys, to the regular meat of the show, and let's get into some news here in our news segment that we call the Not So Daily Bugle News.
J. Jonah Jameson here.
All right. Well, this week we had all kinds of little bits of news kind of coming out. So let's start off here with the new skins that we had revealed. We had,
So
of
much
course, some
skin.
new skins being revealed. We had a new Mantis and Doctor Strange skin. We had the roaming sorcerer immortal skin for Doctor Strange, and the Jade Maiden Prodigy for Mantis. So, what are you guys thinking? This is obviously following in line with the skins we had for Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight released.
Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
I was when I saw Doctor Strange, I'm like, oh, is it going to be that Entangled Time Stream one that I was I guessed on last season? But no, but I think it looks good. These look good. I like the
His
color.
looks dope.
His is pretty awesome. When he's kind of opening the portal and
Like,
Is that a man bun?
yeah, I guess you got a man.
Yeah.
bun
High
going on
knot?
it.
High knot?
A high knot, yeah. His
Awesome.
cape is really cool. He's got like the sleeve. What do you call that? Like-
Sleeve of Wizard.
Well, he's got really long sleeves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all just watching the video now. I don't know. It's like,
This is amazing.
yeah, it's so good. I like his. I like this skin a lot more than the Mantis one. I don't play Mantis a lot, but I also really like her galactic.
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
Is
That Battle
what it
Pass
is?
one.
The Battle Pass one
Yeah,
was great.
Last season. So cool.
Dope.
So cool.
So I could see myself getting the Doctor Strange one, but I don't think I'll be picking up the Mantis one.
Yeah, so by the time you're hearing this recorded, they should be out. So January 17th, these will be out. Real quick, the
no.
roaming sorcerer immortal description says, as an immortal roams the mystical lands of Kunlun, his spirit begins to soar. Doctor Strange's new sorcerer immortal costume unfolds a radiant artifact within as he wanders secluded paths and exudes innate majesty. He's ready to banish all evil.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
And then the Jade Maiden Prodigy says, surrounded in jade and draconic magic, Mantis's new Jade Maiden costume, say that 5 times fast,
Jade
Maiden
Maiden.
costume, magnifies the force of a warrior of Kunlun. Her hair flows like clouds, her fists wield the might of a dragon, and her movement resembles a beautiful dance surrounded by spiritual energy.
That does look nice.
Pretty sweet. Yeah.
Nice
Now,
dancing.
speaking of more skins, we have the Marvel Spider-Man 2 skin coming out, available on
yes.
January 30th. And so this, of course, is from the Sony Marvel Spider-Man game series. This one specifically, they say Spider-Man 2, but of course, it's pretty much the same one from the first game. But it's got the white on the front. So Spider-Man, of course, with the white spider. Matt, you're going to definitely be throwing some cash at this one?
Oh yeah, So the Marvel Spider-Man is actually what got me back into gaming.
Right.
It is actually what led me to meet Mark and these guys because I got into listening to gaming podcasts, found Mark's previous podcast, bought a PS4 only because I wanted to play this game because Spider-Man is my ultimate favorite superhero of all time.
Really?
So yeah, and so when I saw it, I was just like, instant purchase, like no question.
Even though you don't play him that much, you're still...
No, I will get it just so I can have it, just so it doesn't go
need it.
away and I won't have it. FOMO.
Oh, yeah. They're getting you.
seething right now.
Yeah. Well, my thought was, oh man, if they do take it away, I will be angry. But I was like, man, I need to play Spider-Man more so I can justify buying this. I don't want to buy it if I'm never going to touch him. But now I'm like, I got to play him now.
Well, see, that's kind of like the Iron Man suit, the Endgame suit. Looks very similar to just the regular in-game one, but because I play Iron Man and I actually like the helmet better, because the model, the stock model, if you want to call it, he looks cool, but his helmet is just kind of weird, like the way the eyes are. So I like the
eyes that
Endgame.
you're always looking at.
But hey,
I know. I'm.
I do.
Well, and his MVP screen.
That's right, because I'm getting MVP all the time, Matt. So I am seeing it all the time. But
Not
that's
anymore because you have the new skin.
That's right. In this case, though, I'm kind of like, as much as I like this skin, I don't play Spider-Man enough, and
it's not different enough.
I tried to play it for the event thing today. I tried to play him a bunch, and I just couldn't. So I had to. It was either use Spider Tracer 10 times or give somebody a thumbs up 3 times that is playing Spider-Man on your team. So guess how I got it? Giving the thumbs up to guy 3 times.
No one's playing him. I can't thumbs up anybody.
Going to the AI match, and everybody's trying. That's where I tried him. That's where everybody's just like, I'll try him in AI.
I saw another tip this week that if you are teamed up with people, go into the Sanctum Sanctorum to knock out not only some of the daily stuff, but some of the other accomplishments. So the do X amount of assists with this hero or that hero, like the Galactic challenges.
Yeah.
And if you need to wipe people out, knock people out, just do it with your buddy. Just hey, let's go into the Sanctum Sanctorum and I need to knock you out 10 times using this ability. Okay, cool.
You can queue together in Doom match and be against each other?
I mean, you would still be against each other.
Or is it just the... Yeah.
Because it's
So
every
that
man for
seems
himself.
kinda-
Because technically
That's too bad.
it's every man for himself, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if
So
you want to
that's
run together.
Oh, so we go in and we team up. Just don't attack
yeah.
me.
I guess you
you're
could say
gonna get
that friendly fire would be on, though. So you just got to be careful.
Hey, who keeps shooting from me from behind?
You're gonna
It's
get
not me.
I will betray you.
I don't know. You went that way.
Let's see. We also found out that there's going to be a Twitch Rivals event here coming up very soon. So this is going to begin on January 18th and run through January 19th. And also included in this, so it's going to be running the 18th through the 19th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. And if you want an exclusive nameplate in game, you only have to watch for 30 minutes. They're going to have drops on, so make sure you have your account linked, and you can earn the Dancing Fortune nameplate. So this will be an exclusive drop. Now, Twitch Rivals, what is this? This is basically just
That's what I'm guessing, yeah.
Twitch
Don't know.
people streaming. Is that? I'm not a
Is it a
huge-
tournament? Does anyone know? Twitch Rivals?
And I'm looking right here. Exclusive
Do they
Twitch
pay a lot of big
match
streamers to
format.
play their game?
12 teams, 72 players. There's a group stage. So round robin. It's
Oh, it's a
basically
tournament.
It's a little tournament going on real quick.
Oh.
So
It's like all streamers though. That
yeah, all the cool kids.
like a streamer tournament, popular streamers.
Yep, Jiva over in
I'm
the
waiting
chat.
for my invite.
Jiva, our esports
there
aficionado,
you go.
says it is a tournament filled with streamers. So
Okay.
yeah, but either way, hey, you want a free drop? You want a free nameplate to
Sweet.
complete your Rivals collection? Get in there, just 30 minutes too, which is kind of cool. So you don't even have to be in there that long.
Rivals has been doing super short drop windows. I think the longest one was 2 hours, whereas like some of the other games you have to watch like 15 hours.
Oh,
to
wow.
get, like,
That's crazy.
A skin, and it's like, so I'll just put it on while I'm at work and I'll get it. But it's just like, oh, am I done yet? Dang it, I'm not.
I still
30
need to
minutes
get
is
my.
Yeah, Rivals is good.
Is it Hella? Hella's the current one?
Yeah.
Right.
Or did I miss that?
Hmm.
The only thing with that one too, it's kind of the same situation as like the Mantis skin. It's like I got the Hella skin with the drop, but it's like I got the Hella skin from the Battle Pass in Season 0, so like that's the one I'm going to be using because that one's cool with the way the cape is, and it's I don't know.
Until you get a full team of Will of Galacta
It's true.
skins.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Purple forever.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Season 6.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's see. We also had this Rivals Boot Camp event that's kind of been running kind of all week. So over on the socials, they've been basically asking people to put their best team ups, and then they've kind of been running these different event dates. So what they're basically asking you to do is like they did the one I'm looking at now was a Moon Knight and Cloak and Dagger team up. It said, show us your best combo. Basically go into the Discord for the game, and the top 10 posts that were going to be upvoted, we're going to get a $10 Steam gift card. So if you want some cash for Steam, maybe you want some, you haven't bought the Battle Pass yet, or you want to buy one of the new skins coming out, it's a great way to do it. Go check out over their socials. And, but if you got a good team up, maybe you were teamed up either as, like I said, Cloak and Dagger and Moon Knight. I know they did like Spider-Man and Venom, all different ones. Go over there and you can get yourself a little bit of Steam cash.
So you're
for
supposed to
free.
post like a video, like a
Like
play.
best play,
Yes,
good
best
play.
plays, basically. Yeah.
It's a lot of work for $10.
Hey,
Yeah, but if it
Mark,
just happens to come, like if you just
Mark,
said-
I've got a really good highlight of you as I think it's Squirrel Girl
which one was
that
that?
I could submit.
Which one was that?
Never mind.
does it have to be Moon Knight and Cloak and Dagger? Or,
I think so.
That one
Okay.
was, but they've done a couple throughout this week. So just keep an eye on the socials. They're like constantly like
Cool.
changing it. Like there's different ones that you can enter. They've kind of so that one was the 16th through the 18th. Specifically, right now is the Cloak and Dagger and Moon Knight one. But I think earlier in the week they had some other ones, which is kind of neat. So let's see. They also posted some feedback about just I guess a ban coming down on cheaters that were using these keyboard and mouse adapters on console. So I know I kind of see this a lot of times in really any console game. You see it in like Call of Duty. I think even Destiny used to see it on, or any competitive shooter. And of course, here I think Overwatch we would hear it too. But the Rivals team has come out and they're basically saying that they're looking into it and they're defining these adapters. I guess the big ones are Zim, Chronos Zen series, the
Right.
Titan 2 series, Keymender, Brook Sniper series, and it allows people to play the console games with a mouse and keyboard, but the game thinks that you're still using a controller. So they're looking at it as a form of cheating, that it is giving a competitive edge to those people using it. And here's what they said. They said, we have forged a strong detection tool and coupled with keen judgment of our watchful human eyes to accurately identify those using keyboard and mouse adapters. We believe that gaining an unjust advantage through such methods significantly impacts the gaming experience of our players. Therefore, whether on PC or console, we will take measures to vanquish this nefarious behavior. Penalties for users of keyboard and mouse adapters may include temporary or permanent account suspensions, removal from leaderboards, or other punishments depending on the circumstances.
Such as execution at dawn.
So,
Feed you to the vampires.
what do you guys think of this? Because I know the argument for them being in there would you always hear is accessibility. You always hear people say, "Well, I can't play with a controller, so I use this because it's." But I would almost go, and I want to say people are lying because I'm not saying because I'm sure there are those instances where that is the case. I would say probably there's more so the case of people trying to get that competitive edge, especially in a game where there are ladders and they're tracking best players. And there are,
So why
competitive
wouldn't you
goals.
just play on PC then?
maybe you can't afford a PC.
Eh.
You know, people just like playing on their consoles. It's, you know, that's just the way that it is.
Yeah. Either, I mean, I don't know how they'll track it. Like if they're able to track a count, you know, if it's, you know, if they're, I don't know. But what I do like is that they are quickly paying attention to this.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took for Destiny to like get some like people on stuff like this, and so it's just cool to, I mean, it's season 1 and they're like, yeah, it's an issue, so there's not a solution right now, but we're working on it. So
Yeah.
Well, it says they have the detection tool, so
We have the technology.
they have the technology.
Yep.
So stop cheating,
drop.
please.
Yeah. I mean, you know, in the end, I look at it as like, it's a video game. Like,
You guys are doing too much. Like, come on.
I mean, it just seems like anybody who is purposely using that to get that, I don't want to say minor competitive edge, because it is a big, I mean, mouse and keyboard. I mean, Matt, you can attest to the fact that like when you play with me and Ken's and you're suddenly going into PC pool, you hate every single minute of it because it just is very different. It really
When I
is.
play by myself, I play exclusively console pool. I check the box that says console only, and I will not match in with PC users because I don't
Picky.
think it's level playing field.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I mean, you definitely feel it. I mean, for me, the jump even from like Overwatch on console to suddenly Overwatch on PC, very drastically different game. Much faster, just, you know, everything is totally different. So I get it. You know, if you're playing in the console pool and you're using a mouse and keyboard, yeah, you are going to have that advantage. But it's like, in the end, like, what are you getting out of it? Like, I guess you're getting, you know, the gold skin, whatever that skin is, and then you're getting that little
Pixels.
nameplate maybe if you get all the way up there. But now, you know, they're flat out telling you, we are going to detect you. Do whatever you want. Try to get around it, but they're going to find it. And I don't know. So good thing I'm with you, Ken's. Good thing they're kind of getting on this now to try to take it over. What you got, Matt?
I was focusing my camera. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. But yeah. So what else we got in the news? We also had issue 5 of the Marvel Rivals Unlimited comic, so over on Marvel Unlimited. So did you guys get a chance to read this, the latest issue?
I did. I was a bit let down.
Why?
had me
Why'd I
hyped.
say that?
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's going downhill. They've got one more
Well,
issue.
why?
So we'll
why?
see.
Why do you believe so?
It's just kind of bland. They're not doing much. They're staying on the same map, and they're like, okay, let's check in with this team. Let's check in with this team. Oh, they're gonna have a team fight. Use this ability. Use this team up. Oh, now
So it's
they're
more of
separated again.
it's blatantly more of an ad than
It's more like the game. Yeah.
Absolutely.
an outlet of creativity.
Yeah, that's a very
And
well said.
they got rid of Thor, so I'm kind of hurt about that because
And
he's
Thor and
hilarious.
Jeff was the best. Like the Thor
Jeff
yeah.
is the main character for sure.
Oh no, they got rid of
And,
the foreskin.
Well,
There's one.
I hate that for him so much.
I think Hulk
He's
usually
an
has a good
adult.
panel each issue, and this one is Hulk Splash or something.
yeah,
because,
instead of Hulk Smash.
because he gets splashed by Jeff, and that was pretty cute.
Oh.
So they're definitely still on the same map, which is kind of lame. Because I really thought for sure
Yeah.
this was going to be. I mean, in the end, it's a advertisement for the game, so I thought we were going to be jumping map to map to map. We're not. We're just still on the same map. But then the only interesting bit is at the end, they're kind of revealing who the villain of this series may be. Right? Don't
Of the
you think?
comic
Like,
series
get that.
or of
not the game. I'm talking of this situation. I mean, Neil, that last panel, dude. Like,
You keep saying about this last panel.
well, that's all they do. Anything good happens at the very end. So essentially, what's happening here is Namor is essentially saying,
Actually, that was pretty-
he says,
Yeah.
in my spear is like all the Chronovium.
Yes,
And when we can
that
take
was
care of this, Jeff, because him and Jeff are teaming up, you're going to be able to have all the sardines in the world that you want. And I'm
That
going to
was
be able to rule this world. So let's do this. And that's the end. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. So Namor and Jeff are the bad guys? And they're doing this just because Jeff just wants to eat a bunch of sardines? Like, that's the whole point of
course.
all of this? Like,
yeah, I think I want it to be a bit. It doesn't have to be like super dark, but like the in-game lore is a bit more gritty. You know, it's
Yeah.
like not quite as
Yeah.
like lighthearted and slapsticky as this. And I think I need somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So
We'll see. One more issue.
that's right. It is only 6. Which, I wonder if they're going to do that because the Infinity Comics, there's multiple, like, I guess, series, if you want to say. So I wonder if, like, this is the Tokyo 2099
I hope so.
series, and then we're going to get, like, the, Asgard
I would
series
like that.
and just kind of
Idris
jump around that
Elba,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool if they did
Please.
that.
Art's good too. I like the art.
The art is great. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for the news. We actually have a Danger Room segment this week. We're going to get into a little bit of Thor stuff. So let's move on here to our tips and strategy segment that we call the Danger Room. So, this episode here of the Danger Room, we're going to dive into Thor, who I'm going to be honest is a character that I always look at from afar and I'm like, I wish I could play that character. And every time I've tried to play him, I'm just terrible. And this goes all the way back to the beta, and I've never taken the time really to play him. So, Kens, you this week, or probably the last couple weeks, have really kind of found a way to play this character. So I wanted you to go ahead and kind of tell us a little bit about how to play him. And in the meantime, I actually found some video of you playing, and was hoping that this was a way that you could show us how good you are at playing Thor. So you can go ahead and tell us about Thor.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's totally me, by the way.
Oh wow.
Flesh and blood.
If you're
hi.
listening to stream only, this is not a video of Ken's. This is Jack Black in a red bikini speedo. Cosplaying as Thor in
It's
nothing
Thor,
but a
though.
cape.
There is a Mjolnir.
Definitely Thor.
So good. He flies. It's awesome.
Wow.
He's just from another Chronoverse. That's all.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Love some Jack
Get that
Black.
skin in the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the
I love
Malice
the Marvel
skin.
copyright
It's like
in the corner.
the
It is.
Jack Black
It's
version
just
of the
as good.
Malice skin.
It's just as good. Hi
it's
everybody, it's Ken. So I'm doing
playing
a
again.
Danger Room. My qualifications for talking about Thor today is that I made it to Silver 2 last season. So take that as you will. But,
Going to gold.
so here we are. But I will say that what has helped me in this past week as I've kind of focused on my Thor gameplay is I will throw it to a Reddit user who made a post on r/Marvel Rivals. His name is
Geekball21.
Geekball21. Yeah, so he made a post on the Reddit page about I think he says he's a Grandmaster Thor. Yeah. And some of the tips that he has here, which you guys can go to the Marvel Rivals Reddit page and just search for either his username or Thor, some keywords there, and I'm sure you'll find it. It was a pretty popular post. But so some of the things here that help me the most when playing Thor is that a lot of tanks, especially I've thought of tanks in Marvel Rivals compared to a game like Overwatch to be a bit different, and that they're not quite as tanky. They don't have as much health, and so you really need to be paying attention to health and your surroundings. A tank like Thor, he doesn't have a ton of survivability outside of his. I'm going to butcher all the names of his abilities, but his where he throws the hammer. He throws the hammer, and when you spin that up. It's going to bother me that I don't know the name of that. It's
Is it his movement ability?
Yeah, his movement ability.
You need the playbook.
What are you called?
Thor fourth.
Something
Thor
like
fourth?
that. Yeah, but you spin the hammer and you throw it, and then he flies away, and you gain 100 temporary shield, temporary health that slowly kind of ticks away. And so the big thing with Thor is to make sure that you are punishing and diving, but also not too far. You want to get in there to where you're still kind of mid, but not too far deep in there away from your healers. And you always want to make sure that if you're going to dive in, then you need a way to dive out. So if you're already pretty low on health, you probably don't need to dive in. If you're solo, you don't need to dive in. But what you can do solo is you can kind of creep around the corner. You can find an angle to dive a healer or a tank in order to create an opening for your team. And so in a game like Overwatch, you know, a lot of the tanks are positions to get a lot of kills. You know, you can carry a team really well with like doing a lot of damage with tanks and getting kills. But here, Thor is not necessarily, you know, he's not necessarily built to carry with kills, although he can if you play him right. He definitely can carry a team and get a ton of kills. But if you go in with that goal of this is what you're going to try to do is get kills with Thor, that's probably not going to work out. So you need to be able to position yourself. And so one of the things that has helped me the most with getting kills with Thor is using his lightning realm ability, which in this post they even talk about how it's a bit underrated. But when you use that lightning realm, which is his ability it creates like that dome.
Yeah.
And if someone is in there with you, when they leave, they lose 40 health. They take 40 damage from that. So
Just
it's
from
really,
walking out.
just from walking out of it.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people don't know that, like, hey, if you're in there, you need to stay in there. But you also take you're slowed, so a 30% slow, and you take 40 damage if you leave. So you want to try to like be pushing them back, and then if you drop that on them, they're just going to naturally walk out of it, and you're going to be able to kind of either push them in with his dive that gives him the shield, or
Storm
you just
surge.
there you go. So you push them in with the storm surge, or you can just kind of finish them off there. So it's great for tanks. You know, whenever you're kind of you're brawling with a tank, if you drop that on, they're going to walk out of it, and then you can kind of battle with them a bit more and have a bit of an advantage. I get a lot of kills from just dropping that on a DPS or a healer. I'm automatically going to be at a health advantage on them, and it's a little bit easier to take them down. His ultimate is I forget the name of it, but you know, he jumps into the air, and then he comes down. It doesn't do a ton of damage. You know, he jumps in the air and he kind of hovers for a little bit, and then after a little bit of time, he's going to smash down in an area. But another thing from this post is to use that ultimate to make everyone scatter. You know, to not use it as like, okay, there's 5 of them are all in a group, it's time to ult so I can get some kills. It needs to be used like as you're pushing in. It needs to be used as an initial push, so that you can try to make them either make them use like a Luna Snow ultimate, make them try to survive, or make them scatter so that your team can then push in and gain some ground.
Yeah, because dude, just what's the first thing? I'm just thinking like what I do every time you see that area on the ground. It's like everybody run out of there.
And in reality, if you're not a healer or you've got a pretty good amount of health, it's probably not going to kill you.
I was going to say, rarely have I ever died from it ever, but it's still terrifying when you hear it and see it. I'm running every time.
I get wrecked all the time as a strategist by it
because you're playing strategist, and they don't have as much health, and they're probably targeting you with it.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know if these
usually up in my face.
Yeah, I don't know if these numbers are correct, but it says 40 damage a second and then 240 on final impact. So if you tick once and he jumps down, that's going to get anybody with less than 300 health, which is most strategists and duelists, I believe.
Yeah. So the thing to do is to use his runes. So his Thor Force runes is how he gets the ranged attack. You know, once his runes build up, you can hit that. And then he'll kind of float around, and you'll be able to kind of throw lightning from far away. And so that's good to do once you land. You know, you land, pop into that. If you've got your awakening or your lightning realm, you can pop that too. If you dive on top of someone, then you're able to do some pretty good damage there.
Nice.
But I think to sum it all up, push with Thor. Don't try to carry with Thor. Don't try to get kills with Thor. Use your abilities to cause the other team to react to you versus just trying to kill them. And I think you'll have a lot more success.
Nice. I'm going to give him a shot. I think I'm really going to try to play him a little bit more. I think, reading that post, hearing you talk about him, and I guess it's more about changing that mindset. Like, because I get killed by him all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I think of him as a tank that is just like right in your face. Almost, I want to say almost like I think of like Hulk in a sense, where like as Hulk, like I'm going in there to get kills with Hulk. Like if I'm playing Captain America, I'm more in there just create chaos by diving in. But if I'm playing Hulk, I'm in there to kill you because I can pop the shield and I'm just going to punch you to death till you're done.
Yeah, you want to play him like Cap. You want to get in there and cause chaos, and and then you want to get out as soon as like he's got 650 health, and so if that health starts to drop, my kind of range is like 350. If I hit around 300, I'm like I gotta hit. You got to spin that hammer and get out of there, gain that extra 100 health, and then find a healer to heal me back up, and then I'll jump right back in.
Nice.
So something that I saw when I was looking at this stuff, as you said, he's like a tank, but he's not the main tank. He's not going to be taking damage from other people. He's going to want to be kind of in the middle of the fight in order to get to their back line, but at the same time, peel for your own back line. Like go help your healers out because you're going to need them after you get back. Something with the Thorforth. Do you use that as like an initiate thing to do some ranged attacks before you jump in and try and finish them off? Or do you use that for the survivability because you get the extra health?
I typically use it to finish them off. So like if I'm in there
Rather
swinging, and I know that I've got a bit of support, then I'll pop it, and especially to finish off healers, and also just if they're like getting away from me, if I don't quite have the range to take them down, or if there's an Iron Man or a Storm or kind of someone that's like I'm not able to quite get to, then and they've taken some damage. Usually 1 or 2 hits with that will knock them out.
Nice. The other thing about Thor is all of his abilities kind of share this cooldown. It's like a second or two after you use either the dash or the throw your hammer or the maybe that's it. And so you can't just like charge in there, throw your hammer right after. Do you use your hammer throw very often?
Yeah,
you just do it for your.
I do if it if I've taken some damage and they're getting away from me, then I'll chunk that, and it does a pretty good amount of damage for just throwing the hammer.
Yeah.
But I think that it's when you play him enough, you'll learn that like that rhythm of the cooldown of you're spinning the hammer and you can't immediately press it again. But you'll kind of learn like, okay, I know that it's time now. I know that I can press it versus like if you're trying to spam it, it might get you in trouble.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. I'm going to try him out too, I think.
Gotta give him a go, man. So
Mark, there was actual gameplay that we posted of Ken's as Thor, right? That you could have.
Come on, the Jablinski Thor classic, and I blame Ken's for the whole thing too because I completely forgot about that video. And when Ken said, I'm going to do the segment tonight, he said it'll be like, Jack Black dressed as Thor, and he sent that video. I was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we're putting in the podcast tonight.
Fair use.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
he won't mind.
Nah, he loves it. All right, well, let's move on here from the Danger Room and move into our lore segment. That we call the Cerebro Files. All right. Well, this week, my friends, we are talking about Mr. Reed Richards, but also AKA the Maker. And, Reed, he's a character obviously most people think of as Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, but as the years have gone on here, especially... would we say more recent years, Matt? I don't know when was the debut of the Maker actually in the comics? Was it the one? Was it the Ultimate series?
Yeah, it was early 2000s. Give me a moment.
So it would have been those early like Brian Michael Bendis Ultimate runs, kind of early 2000s. Then was when the Maker revealed. So of course the Maker skin
2004 Ultimate Fantastic Four #1.
Okay. So, of course, the skin is in the game right now. So the Mr. Fantastic skin, the Maker, if you're wondering the history of that character, we're going to do it all for you here. So, Matt, take it away.
So, geez, this was there might be more summary here than any other lore dive that we've done because one, trying to encompass, the history of Mr. Fantastic is its own podcast, I feel, like multiple episodes. Because the Fantastic Four have been around for 60 plus years now.
Yeah.
Um, so background on the Fantastic Four. If you've been living under a rock, Reed Richards, 1/4 of Marvel's first family. In the comics, he is colleagues with his friend Victor Von Doom. Why you would have a friend
guy.
named Von Doom and not
Comics.
think that he might turn out to be a baddie, I don't know. And not like a good type of baddie, like a bad baddie. Anyway, so these two are friends and basically very smart and engineer minded. They Doom has this goal of wanting to perfect the world, and Reed is super smart and is able to create these amazing things. He has this girlfriend, Susan Storm, who's amazing. Doom wants basically everything that Reed has. So they construct this ship and they want to test the propulsion mechanisms on it. They believe that they can get to the moon using it in this basically private spacecraft that they built in the 1960s. This is pre-moon landing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pre.
Yep.
This is wow. That didn't even
Real
click
history,
in my
yeah.
mind.
Yep.
Yeah, because that was 1969. So they bring in Reed's other friend Ben Grimm, who is a former fighter pilot, and they assemble this crew to like go on this mission. And turns out that Von Doom had some ulterior motives. Basically, Reed constructed this shield that would block out these cosmic rays that would be harmful to them as they're making this journey, because it was a specific time that Von Doom wanted to do this. But when those shields fail, basically, Doom reveals his plan that he wanted to kill everyone and be able to take all of Reed's ideas and claim them as his own. Plot twist, they crash land back on Earth, having been changed by these cosmic rays,
True
bathed in their
believers.
power. And you get the Fantastic Four that we all know and love today. Now, that story has been adapted some different ways over the years in films, in TV, in different comics. I myself personally love the Fox movies, Fantastic
Yes.
Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. There was the ill-fated 2014 or 15 entry Fanforstic. And
Never
we
saw
call
it.
it that because it has the number
4
4
in the middle.
instead of an A
Yeah.
in it, in Forstick.
Thorskin?
Nope,
Foreskin.
That-
Oh,
didn't say that.
No, Neil, you went too far.
All right.
So the Maker now, let's turn to him. To know about the Maker, you have to know about the Ultimate line of comics. The Ultimate comics were launched in like 2002, 2003. And it was like a parallel universe where things were more serious, things were more gritty. Think like the DCEU, as opposed to like Lois and Clark Superman starring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher from the 90s. That's like the vibe shift. And it was gritty. It was wild swings taken on characters. Like in one of the books, it was implied that there might be a little bit of an inappropriate relationship between like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, knowing that they are brother and sister. And here we meet the Fantastic Four. they're actually around for a good many issues before being transformed into the Fantastic Four. So Reed Richards is introduced in Ultimate Fantastic Four #1 as Mr. Fantastic in issue 21, a full year and a half later.
Wow.
And then he's introduced as the Maker in the Ultimates Volume 2, so not even the first volume, issue 2, a full 6 years later. And the Ultimates is basically their version of the Avengers if they were government owned and sanctioned. So think like if Civil War.
I was just going to say Civil War, yeah, if it actually.
And some really
all
cool,
jumped on
interesting
board.
takes on characters. If you are able to read any of these books in the OG Ultimate Universe, do it.
Dude, I've been reading,
but
I think I told you, the Ultimate Spider-Man run, the Brian Michael Bendis.
It's so good.
It's great.
It's so good. So the Ultimate Universe is actually more close to Fanforstic than a lot of people think or knew about. So in this universe, the Baxter Building is this government basically run think tank. And Reed and Sue and Victor Van Dam.
He's a good guy. He's a good, right?
Well,
Van Doom, okay. Van Dam, yeah.
He hasn't made a good movie in a long time.
Unfortunately.
His kicks aren't as high. You know?
No, he can't do that split anymore.
But they are all basically kind of students or like low-level, entry-level employees, if you will, at the Baxter Building because they're child prodigies. And in the Ultimate Universe, they are sent into the negative zone, known as the N zone. And they become the Fantastic Four. But this actually transforms and mutates Doctor Doom. In this universe, because things are a lot more serious, things are a lot more heavy, things don't really go well for Reed. While he goes to propose to Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, an event starts called what is it? And now
Is it the Fallout?
No, that was towards
crazy.
the end. It was the
Yeah.
ultimatum wave.
Okay.
So we face the ultimatum wave, but we also face incursions. That's when those become a thing here in the Marvel universe. If you've played a Marvel game, you've most likely faced some sort of incursion where they are multiple worlds that are fusing together, and it's a threat that the heroes have to stop. And it's kind of like a quick, cheap way into a multiverse, if you will. Oh, multiple worlds. We can have multiple versions of the hero.
Like Marvel Rivals.
Yes. So they didn't do incursions, which I'm glad they're doing something a little bit more original. But basically there's this event, the ultimatum wave, and some other events as well. Like there's Quicksilver is killed, and so Magneto goes. That's what the ultimatum wave is. Quicksilver is killed, and Magneto basically goes House of M on the world, and he wants to wipe everyone out.
Like non-mutants? Or
Everybody.
everybody?
So what he does is he reverses the planet's magnetic poles, basically wreaking havoc and destroying the weather and the ecosystem. And so natural disasters, interesting, start cropping up all over the world. Captain America is nearly drowned. Heroes are having to fly around the world and try and save people from being, killed in these extreme weather events.
Crazy.
Wow.
And all this happens while Reed is trying to propose to Sue.
Hold, please. This is
Worst
important.
proposal ever.
Such a beautiful moment.
She's almost killed in the
Wow.
ultimatum wave.
Wow.
And he basically leaves her. Uh, I don't want to give it too much away, but basically, she ends up rejecting his proposal.
No.
The Fantastic Four break up.
No.
Reed starts to spiral. He moves back in with his abusive father, and a lot of pent-up trauma, and things are unlocked in him.
Wow.
And basically, there's a quote that I read. It says he becomes more Doctor Doom than Doctor Doom was, as he pursues a goal of perfecting the world, to the point where he becomes like public enemy number one, and the former Fantastic Four are trying to hunt him down.
Like the three remaining plus
Yeah.
Doom. And is he called Doom if his last name is Van Dam? Is he Dr. Dam?
Neil, this is a family podcast.
Bart
He's
Beaver?
still Doctor Doom.
Okay.
But there's some really fantastic,
Wow.
pardon the pun, Reed and Sue fights.
Cool.
Really, the Ultimate Comics were so good at using and unlocking their powers in different ways, that mainstream Marvel you never see.
Wow.
But that's kind of like a huge gloss over of stuff that happened. Basically, during the incursions, that's when the worlds are merging, and this multiverse that he's a part of is also the home to Miles Morales. Because if you haven't read Ultimate Comics yet, this is a spoiler. Neil, if you don't want it,
La 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 la.
plug your ears. In the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker dies.
Oh.
Which, funny enough, I thought that was what was going to happen in Marvel Spider-Man 1, the video game, when you switched to Miles. And I was like, whoa, they did it.
They're doing
They're
it.
doing it. I thought, like, I'm getting cold chills talking about it because I remember that very moment playing the game. So basically, in this incursion event, Reed and Miles are the only two people who survive that world being destroyed.
Whoa.
And so there's this weird relationship between them. Like, Reed views Miles as his brother. As, they're the only two people from the world. He has slowly kind of descended more into madness as he's been pursuing this goal of perfecting the world, starting like kind of a cult. More recently in comics, he has got his hands on his own multiverse, basically his own like shred of the universe. After this event with the Molecule Man, where he, alongside our Mr. Fantastic from 616, were fighting together. The Maker turned on Mr. Fantastic. He was saved by Molecule Man, who like cut him up into all these tiny slivers. But then after the event,
the Maker or Mr. Fantastic?
The Maker.
Whoa.
Effectively killing the Maker. But he instead deposits him throughout the multiverse. And so they form into a being who is like omnipresent in every multiverse at once, the same being.
Whoa.
I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about his own abilities, because telling you any more story, like it doesn't do it justice. You just need to go read.
Homework.
Go read.
When does he get this helmet that makes him look like an alien from Aliens?
He makes it himself.
Is his head that big, or is it just the helmet thing?
It's the helmet, because he has been burned and deformed in these fights against the Fantastic Four.
Whoa.
And so basically his powers are really augmented here. His intellect is kind of like unparalleled as well. Invisible Woman's mother in the Ultimate Universe says that his abilities basically allow him to stretch his brain in order to like hold more information, and
it's crazy.
Think like being able to add infinite computing space to a computer. That's what it is.
Whoa.
Effectively, he is a human computer. He's also technically immortal because he's said at different points in the comics he doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to remove waste products from his body. He doesn't need oxygen. He doesn't, like, he can live in the vacuum of space.
So he can grind Marvel Rivals.
He's, at one point, he's even said that he doesn't necessarily meet the qualification of being alive. And so he's thousands of years old, basically, because of, you know, timey-wimey shenanigans in comics. Yeah, he just a great character. Recommended books, Ultimate Fantastic Four, any of the Ultimate books. There's the Ultimates title, which is basically their Avengers book. And then basically different events. There is the
Ultimatum.
Annihilation Wave. Did I say Ultimatum Wave?
Right.
Is that it?
Yep.
There's the Fallout event, Ultimate Fallout. What else? Start there, and then you'll see he's one of those characters who has like his hands across the Marvel universe right now. And so he pops up in very places that you wouldn't expect.
I think he was in
mentioned it
Venom.
before. Yeah, he's I pulled it up. It's his appearance in that is Venom 11.
Yeah.
And he actually plays a pretty big role in that Donny Cates Venom run.
And that was like a personal request of Donny Cates because he loves the Peter Parker Reed Richards relationship, and he personally wanted like Peter Parker to go up against an evil Reed Richards. Kind of like if you played Marvel's Spider-Man #1, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, kind of like the end of that game where he's having that emotional dialogue with
May.
Dr. Octopus.
Yeah,
Right.
And just how like an idol, you know, you never meet your idols. You never, you know, everybody's human. What happens when the people who you've respected and idolized go bad?
Right.
So
Wow.
it's kind of like I love it because it's such a 180-degree heel turn for the character. It's not just like, oh, what if Mr. Fantastic was kind of evil?
Was bad.
No, it's like this is the antithesis of Reed Richards, or this is Reed Richards if he didn't have Sue Storm.
I would say, the constraints.
And
Right.
if he didn't have the first family.
If he didn't have the family.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're telling me is I need to go buy this skin now, Matt, is what you're telling me. You've just almost convinced me to go in game and buy the skin.
So here's my qualm. We don't get a villain. Like, I want a villainous. I want the unhinged Maker.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just, it looks to me, and no fault of the designers, they were probably just following marching orders. It just looks like a cool Mr. Fantastic.
Like Reed with the hat on.
Yeah,
Pretty
but it's
much,
not even
yeah.
like
And
a super extended hat.
the
right?
hat isn't even enough. I mean, that was my complaint of it. Like every time
Yeah.
I think of him almost like the, you know, from Aliens, like the way
Right.
the xenomorphs have a
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
head.
it's
Like
like a
that's what I
xenomorph.
think of.
He's more, if you've read The Batman Who Laughs,
That's a great comparison.
I feel he's very similar to the Batman Who Laughs, or the Batman Who Laughs is very similar to the Maker. It is a version of the character that, you know, is just degrees away from when they started. But when you are just degrees away, how far do you grow from who you could have been?
All of these Ultimate comics sound really interesting to me, but as someone who hasn't barely scratched the surface of the non-Ultimate, do you think I should dive into that a little bit more before I go into the Ultimate series to get more out of it?
There is no barrier to entry for Ultimate.
Yeah.
It was basically the start of its own. Of course, there is more if you know more, but you will not have a bad time or feel like you don't know anything.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
gonna say, Neil, it's almost like a restart. All the Ultimates, like if you read
Right.
the Spider-Man, like I've been reading Ultimate Spider-Man, like it's he's just Peter Parker not bitten by the spider issue 1. Like they basically restarted everybody, so it's like a perfect jumping on point actually. And right now, actually, There's a whole new line of Ultimate books
Yeah.
that have been running for about a year, I think.
Ultimate Wolverine came out yesterday.
It
Number
did.
one.
Yep.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Okay,
there's
awesome. I've just every week, Matt, you pull out these books, and my list just gets longer and longer. I last week I jumped into a Fantastic Four run. I don't remember when it was from. I think like the 2012. You said that was one of them. 2015 or the first
2018.
episode? 2018 maybe. The
It's-
first issue of that. That's when they're like starting to travel time kind of thing. Time travel.
Yeah, because they're time travel and space travel because they're looking for a way to like cure Franklin of something that's affecting him. Basically, what happens with the Fantastic Four comics is that they become so grand in scope that they have to like end the book, you know, and
Yeah.
start another volume because it's like, oh, our son who can manipulate reality
Mm-hmm.
Right.
might be
Wait for
about
him
to
to
like
be in Marvel Rivals.
break down.
Ooh.
Franklin,
So-
bring him in.
I'll
Awesome.
also quick shout out to the current Fantastic Four run. If you can just Google the covers of it, like
Yeah, I
they're
think I was
so
looking at
good.
those. That's 2022.
The 2022 run.
Is that
yeah.
Zdarsky or did he do the one before that?
Dan Slott did the 2018, right?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I see this one, number 13. The cover is Doctor Doom on a T-Rex with a giant beam coming out of his mouth.
Yep.
That's all you need.
That tracks.
What? Wow.
Crazy.
Guess you'll have to read and find out.
Obviously
True
great.
believer.
I love with the covers as well. And Matt, you're showing us one of them. It's like to get the full picture, you open the book and you look at both the back and the front as one picture, and it looks just
Sick.
amazing.
Sick. All right. Well, there you go. Some info on the maker. Now, for next week, we actually got a message over on Spotify, and this came to us from Chris Sanchez, and he said, would love for you guys to do a lore segment on Namor. Have no clue who he is, but he is one of my main DPS heroes, and would love to hear more about him. Pod is awesome. Keep up the great work. Chris, thank you so much for sending that in, and your wish will be granted next week when Namor is our Cerebro Files for next week. He's a very interesting character, man. You think all the way back. I mean, he's not
I hate him.
necessarily the Submariner that you think of years and years ago. No,
Mhm.
this is
He's a
Namor,
jerk.
and he's.
I'll tell you why next week.
And,
Well, we'll see in the Marvel Rivals comic what happens.
I mean, if you watched what Wakanda Forever, you probably got a little bit of
Mhm.
taste of
Mhm.
some of his intentions and things. So
There have been a lot of lore requests in the comments on Spotify, and we read every comment. Trust me. We will get to them all eventually.
yeah, yep. So if we
I'm
haven't
one
done
man who can only read so many comics.
About 35 weeks from now.
Yes. All right. Well, let's move on here to the final part of the show, the part of the show where we let your voice be heard that we call What Ifs. All right. Well, don't forget, you can always send us an email to rivalsassemblepod@gmail.com, or one of the best ways to get in touch with us and have your voice heard here is to reach out to us on Spotify. So leave us a comment over on Spotify, just like Ben Crockett did. And he said, hey guys, I was wondering about your experiences with quick play matches getting filled with bots if you go on a losing streak. Do you think this is happening? And have you seen anything that would support these claims the community has been making? Cheers. Now, this has literally been going, I think, since probably the very first day this game came out. Like, everybody's been saying there's bots in the game. I mean, Ken's, you sent us a video. I had
Yeah.
actually seen it over on Reddit
Bit
as
of
well
proof.
of somebody showing a match. Now, to be fair, in that video, you don't see the start of the match. So you don't know if that is just a straight up AI bot match. Because if you run an AI bot match, it is going to fill it with bots.
All right.
What?
So don't
And they give
know.
them names too, right?
Or apparently anything remotely impressive that I do in the game, the round is full of bots according to everybody else. So,
But
Like-
you know, I think the argument has always been there, like, how are these matches filling so fast, right? Like, some of these matches fill so quick, and it's like,
Yeah.
yes, I know there are a lot of people playing this game, but still, like, sometimes it's literally half a second, 1 second, constantly being filled in. What do you guys think? And I would say maybe kind of like what he brings up, saying that it's when you go on a losing streak, that then maybe they're filling the bots in there to
I
let
don't know
you
what that feels like.
just, you know. do a little
Is
better.
that only when they show up? Well, actually, I guess we don't know.
We don't
but,
know. They've never commented on this.
I don't know. That seems pretty sneaky, I guess.
I think
if
it's
you were,
true.
yeah,
I do because I noticed I'll have like 3 games that are just awful, and then suddenly it's like we've got them completely logged down. I'm like, I know I didn't improve as a player in that amount of
I know
time.
Matt
So
didn't improve.
there's something's happening here.
yeah.
I mean, I think I'm okay with it if it's in quick match.
I
Like,
don't mind it at
Yeah.
all.
I don't see why it's an issue. Like
It's not. I don't think it is. But it's happening.
Because there's an AI versus AI mode. If you want to go smoke some AI, and then go in there, right?
It's to
but
keep you
one day
playing.
people are gonna find out how to
Yeah.
smoke AI. Calm down.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's to keep you playing because when you absolutely stomp a team, you're like, man, let's get another one in. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
otherwise, if that 4th game, you're like, you're the one getting stomped. It's time to go to bed.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
We're getting off.
it's a superhero game. It's all
Yeah.
about the power fantasy.
Yeah,
So when
true.
you have that power fantasy come to life in a match, like you said, Kens, you just are like, okay, let me do another one. It's not time to go to bed yet. I'm gonna keep
Feels great.
playing.
Yeah.
And from their stance, it's like, well, maybe you'll stick around and maybe you'll like that character and buy that skin. Like maybe you'll
Yeah.
spend that money, or that pushes you to complete that challenge that you were trying to do to keep pushing on the battle pass, like things like that. So
yeah.
I'll be I will go on the record and say my ego is fragile enough that I am
Really?
1000% fine with them wanting to make me feel a little bit better about a loss streak by giving me like an AI filled match, or even just like some teammates or whatever. It's like I'm completely fine with it. If that is what helps de-escalate me towards the end of the game, it's like I'm done with comp. I need to actually play well in a quick play on console pool only. I'm here for it.
yeah, I mean, I think if this was anything happening in the competitive playlist, obviously
no
I think
way.
it would be an issue.
Yeah, big problem.
But it's not. I would almost say I'm almost positive, or I would say I am positive it's not happening, because
Yeah,
how many
same.
times you go into a comp match and then you got to sit there and watch everybody's little bars fill up to make sure the connection's going to be right, and you're just like, and you got that one guy that's yellow,
Let's go, Toaster.
and it takes him like forever to get in there. So it's like we're not
Playing
getting
on his
bots.
LG fridge.
Yeah, we're not getting comp matches. Hey, could be playing on his Switch too very soon, right? They haven't announced anything there, but I've been
Ooh.
thinking that this game probably will be coming out on the Switch too. It wouldn't surprise me.
That'd be awesome.
It would surprise me if they didn't put it on the Switch too. I think would be the right way to say it. But yeah, so that bots. If it's in the quick match, it is what it is. I think it keeps people playing, and it is quick match. If you don't want bots, play competitive.
Right.
Yeah,
I
there you
feel
go.
like
There you go.
if they were doing it to fill the lobbies, like if you were waiting for so long, then we're going to fill it with bots just because you've been waiting so long. But if they're doing it because you're losing, I don't agree with it.
I think what is the claim that it's after 2 consecutive losses or something?
I honestly don't know what it is. I mean, Ben Crockett just said it's losing
We don't
streak,
know.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
2 losses? Is that
there's
3?
some things that I've been reading, and it's all rumor, but it's just like after, I believe it is 2 or 3 losses, straight losses, that they will pad the lobby with people either on your team or the other team.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be, a more competent AI tank or something like that on your squad, or less. I
It's
don't
being
know.
lied to.
I think it's a full team of players and then a full team
Yeah.
of AI. I don't know that I'm okay with them putting AI players on my team. And
Now, but
like,
that video you
mixing it
put
up,
out, kids,
know?
that's what it is. I mean, that video you put out, that is
Yeah.
players or AI players on the team.
I don't know. It seemed like that
Oh,
they
was
were the whole team was
I
running
thought it was the
into the wall.
it was the invisible wall, right? Invisible girl
Yeah, into the invisible woman.
jumped in, and they were like
Ugh.
attracted to her or something. Anyway,
Anyways,
I don't know what that could be.
which by the way,
Anyways,
I sent you guys the picture. Did you see that ad they're putting up on YouTube for Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals?
not
It
so
is-
invisible girl.
It
She's
is
got her
yeah,
assets just
the straight
hanging
up
out.
Malice damage bubbles up there.
Yeah.
Just that's the ad for the game saying, "Hey, free to
Play
play,
free now."
Marvel superhero game. Go play it. And it's just the backside of the Malice skin.
Come check out our Malice.
It's crazy. Like,
No.
I just, what are we doing? What are we doing over there? Let's see. The next one comes to us from Crabwise. And they said, I managed to hit Diamond at the end of last season, but didn't end up getting the chance to ban due to Platinum players being matched to my lobbies. Bans incentivize players to explore new characters to expand their roster, which naturally produces more variety in game composition. Where do you stand in this debate? Would you like to see bans in the lower ranks, or would you prefer that those ranks be open to any heroes to push people to learn how to fight them before being allowed to ban them?
I think it's a privilege, not a
To what? Be able to ban?
Right.
yeah. I think how much worse would lower rank lobbies be if hero ban were implemented? I feel like it'd be so much more time for a trash match anyway. You know, like
Well-
the skill level's not there.
I don't think we have the hero depth to do bans at every rank right now. I think
Yeah.
eventually, with as many Marvel characters as there are, I think it will be appropriate to have bans in quick play and in lower, or maybe not in quick play, but in like lower competitive ranks. But right now, you know, I don't think there's enough. But when you get up there and you have these highly skilled players that are always going to carry on these specific heroes,
Yeah.
then you know, that's how they would do it in a tournament play. Then, like, you know, they're playing at that level. I'm not playing at that level, so I don't really want bans right now. But eventually, I think it could be a thing that might be needed.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
I
you know,
think-
or go ahead.
Oh, I think that they can maybe lower it a bit. We'll see if I get there one day, maybe. But I agree that not at low ranks, because you want people to learn, as Crabwise says here, learn to fight against them, or as them before being allowed to ban. Give them a chance to see why they would want to ban them and help
Yeah.
learn. Okay, who should I ban before they do it? But as he said, there's platinum, diamond, but I got to gold last season. It took me enough games that I feel like I saw all the heroes. I played with all the heroes. I got KO'd by all the heroes. I started to figure out who I would like to ban. So maybe they could drop it a little bit, but I think keeping some ranks without bans makes sense.
Now, the only reason I would say maybe move it to gold is because you have to at least be gold to enter the in-game tournaments.
Silver, actually.
Are you sure? Because right now, when I just logged in the
did
game,
they change it?
the new tournament, whatever, starting here soon,
Yeah.
it said you have to be gold 3 to be able to get into
Oh.
it. You're
Last season was
Yeah,
silver,
it
but I
was
guess it was a
silver.
shorter
Yeah.
silver.
yeah.
Must
So-
have been trash silver games.
So I would think if you would at least put it at that, so it's like, okay, if that's a requirement to
Right.
get in the in-game tournament,
That's fair.
at least put it to that point.
or put it in the tournament. So like just in the tournament.
Just when you get competitive modes.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
good to practice banning too.
Yeah, I mean,
See what it's like,
it's the
because
strategy to it, you know.
Just get in chat and say, hey, you don't play this person. We don't play that person.
it forces you to learn more characters too, right? Oh, the character I'm good with gets banned all the time. What am I going to do if he gets banned?
Yeah. You know what, real quick too, we forgot something in the news. I remember I had kind of sent this to myself. You mentioned how many new heroes coming, Kens, and there was an interview with our boy Guan
Guan
over with Metro, and he was talking about a new hero coming every month and a half. And here's a quote. He said, every season we'll be rolling out fresh seasonal stories, new maps, and new heroes. We'll actually be breaking down each season into 2 halves. So this is going to be now every season, the 2 halves.
Even
Too
two.
many slices.
He said the length of one season is 3 months, and for each half of the season, we will introduce a new hero.
Wow.
We just eventually want to continue to enhance the experience and, keep everyone excited in our community. So,
Wow.
yeah, every 6
6
weeks,
weeks.
new hero.
I guess my worry is like, not that I don't want that many, but like, can they keep that up? Like, is that going to be, how long are we doing a month and a half with new heroes?
I mean-
I don't know. I mean,
We
they've done it well so far, so like,
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to doubt it, but
The game's only been out for a month and a half.
Yeah.
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 Well,
I
we
know.
talked
Exactly.
about it. Yeah, we talked about it last week that he said 4 is double the amount they're going to do every season. So 2 is every season. They'll do 1 at the beginning, 1 in the middle,
Right.
going forward for at least season 2. But we'll see.
One more than 3.
But I mean, this was just an interview just with Metro just the other day.
Wow.
They're pretty much committing, which
That's cool though.
I'm glad he said that. The only concern, and I guarantee you we're going to be talking about it here on the podcast at some point, there's going to come a time where they're not going to do that. And they're going to put out one hero in a whole 12-week season, and people are going to say, you said you were going to put out a new hero every 6 weeks, and there's going to be this
For
whole...
the eternity of this game.
Yeah.
You
So-
didn't get
Guan,
the one
come
thing
out of
in the
retirement.
free-to-play game.
So temper expectations. Like, thank you,
Yeah.
Guan Guan, for putting that out there. And I believe, at least for the next year, I think they
For
can
sure.
deliver that.
Absolutely. I think
Absolutely.
So too.
Even 18 months, maybe. But,
Yeah.
like,
Maybe
Did anybody hear the name Crabwise and think of Sean Astin being replaced by a crab in Lord of the Rings?
Sam...
absolutely, absolutely not.
Crab...
Frodo.
Crabwise
Crabwise
Ganji.
Ganji?
Man, you've never even seen Lord of the Rings, have you? Have we talked
I
about this
have
before?
once. It was a long story.
You saw the Lord of the Rings once, or all three of them?
I
once?
watched the trilogy with a girl in college. It didn't go anywhere.
There's some baggage there.
God,
Nice.
I watched it so many
Extended
times.
editions too.
Oh,
Even
okay.
better.
Nice.
Wow.
Even better. Well worth it.
It's a long day.
I don't remember a thing.
Next question comes to us from Mark Asbury, and he says, question, I know you guys talked about the Midnight Suns game, which I absolutely love, but do you think we would ever bring those in, please?
So I've
They're
got
so
the Iron Man Midnight Suns bobblehead. I don't know if it was Funko or what. I got it because I got the Ultimate Edition of the game from GameStop, and it's awesome. Definitely bring them in. They all have great costumes. Iron Man again. I think we talked about it. He's getting all the cool skins. No, though, who was that? Who's the Reinhardt of this game? It might be Iron Man. He seems to be having a lot. But
Doctor Strange, Mantis,
maybe it's Moon Knight. Maybe
Iron
it's Moon Knight.
Fist.
Yeah.
Oh, Moon Knight. Yeah, that's what he said.
But great aesthetic. I think that would be a good idea. And also, please bring me Blade and Ghost Rider.
Robbie
Just in
Reyes
the game.
and I
Didn't catch.
want the Fallen Scarlet Witch skin.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Well, no, you don't, because if you didn't hit that point in Midnight Suns, then you don't need.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, that's like stage 2 or whatever, chapter 2.
Yeah, like the Gamma.
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. Oh, that's a great game. Fantastic game.
I got to go back and finish that game. I made
didn't
it
play
to
it.
the
So-
second part.
it's so
I didn't.
good.
I did
It's
not.
a
my
great
gosh.
game. It's a big.
Guys, it's so cheap right now on PC. You can get the disc for cheap too. Go get it. Just treat
Yeah, I
yourself.
don't really have an excuse. I just missed it.
It's
And
amazing.
it's a great strategy game.
Yes, I got sucked in pretty hard. Like similar to my Marvel Rivals addiction now. I played that like every night, deep into the wee hours. I never finished it, but the DLC I keep looking for that to go on sale because
It was just on sale for Christmas. All the chapters were.
what was
Four
it?
different-
Venom,
four different
Deadpool,
chapters.
Storm. Who's the last one?
Morbius.
Morbius.
Oh,
Morbid
nice.
time.
It's more time.
Next question comes to us from Miles Bro, and they say, "Great job with the podcast, guys." And Ken's
Ken's.
glad you
And that's
feel
me.
you're feeling better. Not trying. He's saying he's glad you feel better. Says not trying to step on any toes, but I'm flabbergasted that Iron Fist was the highest picked for best dive duelist, which tells me the people who voted don't have any awareness of their backline and don't help their strategists or use CC abilities. Black
Say
Panther
it again
or
for the people in
Wolverine,
the back.
in my opinion, should be the top 2 because the mobility Black Panther has, killing backline quick before they realize what's going on, and Wolverine just straight up being the tank killer. So, what do you guys think? Any thoughts on that?
I don't get bothered at all by Black Panthers or Wolverines as a strategist, I feel.
I
They
mean,
are always going after other duelists or, like Miles said here, tanks.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I think last week when Iron Fist was picked, I think it's just he's the easiest out of all of them. I mean, Black Panther and Wolverine, there is a little bit of that skill gap. So a lot of players may want to play them, but when they jump in and try to, they just don't understand I guess, the way to play their kits, where Iron Fist is literally just one button, deflects, and then just go in, and it's a insta lock, and you're just like punch, done.
And it's got that psychological aspect to it, where it's just like you see the Iron
There's
Fist
so
and
much
it's just
happening
like
in your face.
Stop hitting me.
Dude, I had a match today. It was on Wakanda, the Domination map, and it was the Spaceport one. And I was playing Iron Man, and it was actually the second round. We won the first round, no problem. And somebody on the other team switched to Iron Fist, killed me like 3 times in a row. Like,
Knocked you out?
I tried to come from different areas. Like,
He
okay, I'm
finds
going to
you.
go to the right this time.
I find
He was
you.
there. I'm going to go to, he was every time he was there, every single time. And killed me up in the air. I was like, God, man, I just could not get away from him.
What
Don't mess with my boy Lin Lee.
That's how it works.
his deflect, that it's lasts quite a while. Does that deflect CC abilities too, or why is he saying you don't use CC abilities?
Well, I think he's saying that the people aren't using, what's he say? The highest picked, best Stabulus, and doesn't help their strategist. So
Or
I
you
think he's
should
just
use
saying,
them.
like, you know,
Like,
whoever
can he
these
get
people
locked down
are,
easy,
they're
even
not-
if he's deflecting? You can freeze him or whatever.
Oh, him? Yeah, you can. You can definitely
Iron
lock it
Fist.
down.
Yeah. Okay. So you only deflect what, melee and ranged attacks, or just?
I'm pretty
ranged
sure.
attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both. I mean, definitely melee and range, because sometimes you'll be
Okay.
coming in and it's like a Punisher shooting at you or whatever.
So
Just like, no.
please protect your strategists. Look behind you. Help
Listen
your back
for
line.
those voice
Heal
cues.
for the love of Bast.
That
And if you're
fucking
playing
hurt.
something like, if you're playing someone like Thor, you need to be aware that your healers are alive anyway, because they're gonna have to. Because without them, you're not gonna make it. That's the
You did
your
it.
healers have to be alive.
Yeah, I feel like Black Panther and Wolverine both have more mobility kind of thing, because they go through the players, right? You do your dives or your slashes, and you go through the players, so the players have to turn around to find you. Where with Iron Fist, our man,
right
he
there in
just
your
stays in
face.
front of you, right?
Yeah.
He is the moment.
It's the sound effects too that just really take
Yeah.
like just like
Yeah.
And then throw a kick in there. And then
Yeah.
Just set my controller down.
I feel like I haven't seen much of him though, since like the first couple weeks of the game.
Iron Fist?
Yeah,
The game has been out a month and a half.
I still see him a
So
lot.
the first
like
weeks
a
of the
month.
game.
yeah.
It's like 2
First
weeks ago.
third of its life.
Let's see. Final one here. This one comes to us from Zion Durham, and they said, I have a question for y'all, especially if you've played Overwatch. He said, I never
sir.
played. But why are casuals so toxic to supports, especially discrediting us when we get more kills than them? If I'm doing 20k healing and get 25 kills, I never want to hear someone tell me it's my fault. But the Insta-Lock DPS think because there's a healer on the team, I'm supposed to magically make them immortal when they're
Yup.
going off by themselves and
love
are
this so
nowhere
much.
near the objective. So why is
Preach.
this the way, Zion?
Amen, brother.
Why is, I don't
You
know,
have somebody
why is
who's
the
like,
sun bright? It
is
just,
there even
It just
am I
is.
am I
People-
the only one here? Where's my team? And it's like
you
I've
have
literally been
healers?
standing behind you the entire round healing you. What are you talking
I've
about?
never been like that.
It's
Matt.
almost
I've
like we've
never
heard
said
that conversation before.
Never happened between me and Matt.
Haven't?
Am I the
ever.
only one here?
One of
Where's
the
everybody?
I
One
think
of the
that was my
strategists-
inciting tilting event right there.
yeah.
And then Matt's
One of-
silent for 20 minutes.
One of the strategy guides or things I looked up was, okay, you're a strategist, you are a healer, but good offense is a good defense. If you are taking down heroes, like helping burst them down, then that's one person that's not constantly doing damage to your teammates. So it's important to know when to heal and when to deal damage. Both are
Yes.
very important as strategists. They give you both. You got to use them. And the other thing is the rest of the team needs to know how to use cover, natural cover. Go behind a
Yes.
corner.
Definitely.
Go
Peek.
find your health packs. Right. Don't always depend on the healers. They've got a lot of people to take care of. And if you're just jumping into their team or flying around, as he says, you're going off by themselves, nowhere near the objective. Like, you should be going back to your healer, one, to make sure that they're good, no one's jumping on them, and two, to get a little bit of love from your healers.
Yeah.
So the reason why I have qualms when people call them healers is because of like what you just said there, Neil. It's like the role that I'm choosing is not to heal. the role that I'm choosing is to be able to do damage, but have the capability to heal as well, because I'm not a good frontline tank. I'm not a good close combat damage doer. I'm
doing
a
it.
competent ranged damage dealer and support.
Yep.
And it's like when people say, where are my heals? Where are the healers? And it's like, what do you want from me? Because there was one specific match in Overwatch that I played with some friends, not you guys, don't worry. And someone said, healers, I'm literally dying out here. And I was like, what? Then play better. Like, okay. And then there was a
Have you tried
soldier.
living?
This was on the Numbani app. And when you're going, like you're pushing the cart and it goes down that first hill, turns the corner, and there's like a perch up top where somebody can come out and just like shoot at you. There's a soldier 76 up there. And the same person was like, can somebody take care of that soldier? And myself and the other support were the only ones back there. And he yelled it again. And it was like, what do you want me to do? He wasn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's the DPS? Who should be taking care of
exactly.
that?
It was like, what? First, you want me to spam heal you. Second, you want me to take care of the other DPS player. So what exactly is your role here? If I'm having to play two classes, then what are you doing? And I 1000% agree. If I get double-digit kills and double-digit heals on you, then you do not speak to me.
And
Yes, love the
scene.
comment.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
comes down to
More of
people
those.
just not knowing how to play a team game,
Yep,
not knowing how to be a team
Yeah.
player.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, there you go. That's it for episode 11. Like we said here at the top of the show, we have a giveaway going on. So if you want to take part in that and you want those two Fantastic Four comics and a tub of G Fuel, be sure to email us to rivalsassemblepod@gmail.com. I will have that in the show notes. Be sure to email us your favorite Fantastic Four villain and just tell us why they are your favorite. And again, it's going to be totally random. We're just going to take all the names, basically put them in a number generator, pick one out. And the only reason we're having you tell us your favorite villain is just, you got to have a little something you got to give us. And of course, we'll read it on the air, read your name next week, and we'll get in contact with you to get that.
That is for
shipped
U.S.
out
listeners
to
only.
you. U.S. listeners only, and get
Love
it to us
everyone else.
by Thursday, January 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern. So that's noontime on that day. So we can announce you that night as the winner, hopefully. So
Yep.
send
Awesome.
us those emails. And don't forget, of course, follow us on Blue Sky and on Twitter at Rivals Assemble. We're going to try to get a picture of those comics up for you there so you can see those covers that we described at the top of the show. Big thanks to everybody over in Twitch and YouTube. We can see you guys over there. We had some new listeners commenting in there and all that tonight. So, guys, thank you for
We got
joining
paid
us.
for the raid.
Yep. Thank you for that raid. Rivals Assemble Pod, you can find us there. And as always, if you're listening in the audio version, be sure to leave us a review if you can, either on Spotify or on iTunes or whatever your podcast service of choice is. And help us continue our Baker's Dozens streak over on Spotify and leave us a comment over there. We would appreciate that. So any final thoughts here,
And-
guys? What do you got, man?
Yeah,
Don't forget to have a bagel.
A what?
A boggle?
A bargle?
A bargle.
A bagel?
I will report on the Baker's Dozen next week.
Okay. All right.
Appeal to your healers.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
good to your
please.
healers. There you go.
Your strategists? I'm sorry?
A strategist, yes.
The one that one.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you here as always for tuning in. And until next week, we'll catch you later. Peace.
Bagel.
Bagel.
All right. Good job,
Did we
dude.
hit 2 hours?
That was a lot of fun.
No,
Oh,
not
not
2
quite.
hours. Nope, still not
No,
yet.
we couldn't finish the
Thinking we
drill.
were almost there.
Man, I have
about
so
the
many
same.
comics I want to read.
It's always like an hour 47, 46 every
About
week.
average then.
Yep.
Got me really excited about Ultimate Comics.
It was like Ultimate was like, I felt so what's the right word? Like, it felt naughty reading the Ultimate because it felt like they were for adults, not in terms of like
Right.
being inappropriate, but just like the content. It was like, oh, my mom would be so mad if she caught me reading these.
Wow.
Boom. Still not
Did
2 hours.
I'm trying to find the pick rates and stuff. Do you guys know if that got updated at all?
I don't think it has because people were asking that, like how often that was going to be.
Would that be on the
Marvel
It's
Rivals
not on their
website?
main website, is there? I can't find it.
It's supposed to be
I thought it would be like a seasonal thing.
game season story hero hot list. Go to hero hot list. It's right on there. It's at the top. Hero tab.
So hot right now. Oh, okay.
So
The hero malice list.
there
So
reminds
last
me,
updated. Okay, so the 6th. Yeah.
this has nothing to do with anything other than you just jogged it from the depths of my memory. So we used to have a DJ, a radio DJ here in Atlanta. His name was Nudge.
DJ.
And
Of course, it
his
was.
show was called Nudge at Night.
Okay.
And he would do this thing during the 5 p.m. commute. It was called Hot Mom Check-In.
Oh, I think you
Wow.
told me about this before.
And if you were a hot mom, you would call in and you would do this like
It was very
call
smart.
in response with him. And it was hot mom check-in. What? Hot mom check-in. And then the woman calling in would do it. And then you'd have to say smooth and sexy hot mom check-in. And like the phone lines were always lit up. Like the weirdest thing. It's so talking about like, oh, it's so hot. It just made me think
So hot right now.
check-in.
Cancel. Hot mom,
That's
check in.
something.
And then they did this April Fool's prank where they fired him and he like went off and like swore and
I'm
did a
taking
bunch
my
of
hot
stuff on the
man
radio that he shouldn't and actually
with
ended up
me.
getting fired.
Oh no!
Oh, right. Yeah, you told me about that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Bless his heart. I wonder where Nedge is today.
Hmm.
Ah,
Living large, probably
hot
with some hot
mom,
moms.
check in.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What?
Hanging out with a bunch of hot moms. There you go.
Awesome.
All right, guys in the stream. Thank you, of
Well,
course, for
anyway.
stopping by, man. Holding court.
Hot mom, check in.
New post for my scope. Post for my scope too. I saw you over on YouTube. We did have you over there. Usually we're tracking the Twitch chats, but I did see you post over there. Who else? We had who gave us the raid?
Elmer Fudd
Elmer
Games.
Fudd Games.
I gave him a shout out.
Thank
What does
you,
that
my
mean?
friend.
It's basically like join us in following Elmer Fudd Games, and it
Okay, cool.
kind of like notifies the feed that we're recognizing them.
Yeah, that they. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very cool.
I've never had to explain what a shout out was before.
First for everything.
Yeah, I have to do that a lot at work. Have to explain what the very demure, very mindful trend on TikTok was to my 70-year-old editor.
You may have to explain
But-
that to me too.
All right, streamer. We're gonna cut it live here.
Isn't TikTok canceled now?
We will catch you